my boy Jonathan Frax. Oh, I'm on the illegal Discord. We're watching a bunch of shows and.
Hello, everybody. Christian can talk about what he does on his own illegal discords. I don't care.
That's a different country. We have no jurisdiction here.
We're watching. We have a movie, like a movie watching Discord, and we're watching Torchwood now. And because Torchwood had like double episode, we had to watch 2 episodes, so we don't have extra time to watch like other stuff. And when we have extra time, we watch Beyond Belief, Facts or Fictions, and I love that shit. Because Jonathan Frakes fucking.
Yeah, Jonathan Frakes is a very powerful human being. All right, let's see here.
I love when he asks me questions like, why did the insult machine give a compliment?
What if the insult machine suddenly started giving compliments? I don't know, Jonathan Frakes. What if?
What if? Yeah, I don't know.
I thought you said incel machine. I was like, that's
good too. The incel machine started negging you.
Actually.
Okay.
Told you the game was woke.
Oh, chat just reminded me. I tried that Oreo Coke Zero.
Can we get a live report?
It's good. It's good. It's not.
No, I either heard people saying it's ass. Is it worse or is it the best?
I don't think I like it quite as much as Mike does, but it does genuinely, kind of have that like a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of vanilla taste to it. It's impressive how much they translated that.
Yeah, it does just taste like an Oreo.
Yeah.
I had a tiny glass of regular Coke today, and it fucked me up.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of sugar anymore.
It's like, I'm like fucking turbocharged, fucking murder people, some shit.
Yeah, maybe, I think that stuff is actually just not good for you. And I think that's why things like this Oreo Coke only being in the 0 sugar format is happening.
Yeah. Because I think the other creations were in the regular Coke too.
Yeah.
Cotton candy one or whatever the fuck.
Right. Tweet. Woof, woof, woof. Fight. Woof, woof, woof. Scratchy and Poochie Show.
And why did the kids suddenly know how to speak Chinese?
Okay.
All right, are we ready?
Okay, and all right, and ready, and yeah.
Oh, give me the music. I didn't hear the music.
Oh yeah. Well, that's a sign that you guys can't hear anything. There's music playing, so it's.
No, I don't hear it now.
Let's do that here. Now you guys hear retry OST.
Okay.
Let's get this.
Although.
Last of the Nintendo.
Kind of sounded like Tom Sawyer from.
Sure.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start
There it is.
cheering
There it
now.
is.
You guys heard that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. I think we are good to do a podcast. You guys ready?
That'd be crazy.
Yep.
All right.
Let's do that.
In 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now. Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof woof, that's me, I say it. Hi, I'm Mike McNaughty, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
And we are the last of the Nintendogs.
Oh,
I was just looking at Fantasy
woof,
Critic.
woof.
Today, the Switch 2 might be called the Switch 2.
What?
And some new NSO games just dropped.
Ooh,
We're going to talk about that.
I wonder if they're crap.
But first, Jeff Grubb. Sir, how you doing? Yeah.
I think I'm in a bad mood for some reason. I think mostly.
Really?
Yeah, I think I'm not feeling great.
Is this why you didn't like the Plucky Squire?
Listen, the more I look around the internet, the more I see people agreeing with me, and that
is this your people are saying thing?
Yes.
People are saying,
and it can't be confirmation bias because it's me.
Yeah, that makes sense actually. Yeah, because you're right. You're
Because
the
I'm
main
right.
character.
It's not confirmation bias if it's just confirming the reality. It's reality bias.
It's an interesting shirt, by the way. Great, cool. Well, I hope you feel better soon. I'm feeling good now after having a rough week last week. I feel pretty normal.
Good. I'm glad you're feeling back and at it. Who knows? Maybe I am having my rebound. That could be what's happening. But probably
Maybe.
not.
I felt pretty. My rebound was pretty.
Yeah,
rough. You're not
it
having
could
as
be the
much
early
online.
onset of it is kind of what I'm thinking. But it was more likely, I don't know, just kind of had an upset tummy from a variety of things. But no, I'm feeling fine, doing fine. Gonna take the kids to like one of those Discovery Zone things tomorrow night because they
Oh yeah.
because Emmy's doing very good on her spelling and Addie's doing good at going potty at school. Two things that we had to overcome. So feeling pretty good about that.
There you go. See, I told you she'd get over that. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
She's
I had
fine.
to like start promising to bribe her, but whatever. It works. It works, right?
Whatever it takes. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
This is an episode of Bluey. There isn't a more elegant solution here. So you have to
yeah, I'm not
bribe
gonna be able
them
to
with
take off work to
toys.
go like be in the window of the bathroom to encourage her or something like that. I'm not a bandit. But yeah, it's going well. The kids still are just loving Astro. That is also a
Me
thing that I'm
too.
using to bribe them. Where hey, no, you got to do your spelling words and then you can play Astro. And boy, that got the spelling done real fast.
Oh man, I hope we get those speedrun levels like by the end of the month and not like November or December. It might be more like November or December though, huh?
Yeah, it's hard
the
to
fact
say.
that they haven't said yet. Is
Yeah,
like,
you're
maybe
right.
later.
Yeah, that begins to feel like that's more likely.
We had a lot of fun on the Bombcast today. Everyone
Yeah, it
should
was a
check
good
out
episode.
our episode today with the usual four plus Lucy James. So we had good times there.
The
But Jeff,
newly blighted Lucy James. Yep.
the newly bited Lucy James after I beat Alone in the Mitch, which cannot happen too soon. I tell you that. Do you want to hear about these 4 Super Nintendo, / Super Famicom games that
okay.
just dropped?
Yeah,
They're
tell me
live.
about them. What's going on?
Well, here's the headliner. This is pretty neat. Battletoads Double Dragon.
Oh, I like
on
that
there.
game. I like that game.
Yeah, now, I will say, like, I would actually take the NES version over the SNES version.
True. Yeah.
But it's not some giant deal. Glad to see that on there. I feel like we talk about this game more than maybe any other podcast. But yeah, that's actually a good beat 'em up. It basically is a sequel to Battletoads more than anything else. It plays a
Yes.
lot more like that than
Right,
Double Dragon,
I would
and it is
always
just
ju-
made by Rare.
I would always just choose the Battletoads in that game because they were. It definitely felt like one of their games. But
Yeah.
whatever. It was a cool crossover at the time. It was. It always felt strange. I'm like, why are these two together? But I guess they're both beat 'em up, so that's as far as they thought about it. And I'm fine with that. But yeah, you're right. I would rather have the NES version. There's something about the way that one looks.
Right. But yeah, this plays like a Bowser game, and is a lot of way better than the original Battletoads, which, is a fun game, but has a lot of BS. There's some BS here for sure still, but I think it's overall a slightly more fair game than the original Battletoads. And yeah, then we got 3 Super Famicom games. We have a Big Run, a racing game that, kind of has that Top Gear perspective.
Oh, sure.
So, yeah, one of those. Cosmo Gang the Puzzle. This is a drop-down puzzle game of some sort.
All right.
And Kunio-kun no Dodgeball Dayo Zenin Shugo. This is a sequel to Super Dodgeball that we
Okay.
never got over here. So this is one that I assume you're not going to need a whole lot of, English to enjoy.
Uh-huh. And
So,
if it does,
that's
you'll
neat
let
though.
them know.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, I like Super Dodgeball. I haven't played it a ton, but I'll play that. That's fine with me. I always forget. I guess I don't forget, but I don't actively think about. We could play these games online that have the multiplayer whenever we want on content, and we should do that more frequently, just because it's so easy to do that.
Yeah, Dan and I are gonna do Tribute Superstar at some point, but yeah, there's no reason why, you and me can't do some Battletoads Double Dragon. And by the way, Nintendo, we had this conversation before, like what's this game actually called? And it is just Battletoads Double Dragon. That's just the actual name of the game.
Yeah.
It's written out here like that here. Yeah, not the most amazing collection, but not bad, all things considered.
I gotta say, at this point, Mike, I think I just get more excited about the fact that Nintendo remembers it's still doing this.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
games themselves only matter so much. I know a lot of people kind of get disappointed when the list that doesn't have a game they care about. And of course, yeah, that's fine. I get that. But I have so many ways that I'm playing old games. that usually this just reminds me, hey, I like that old game. And then sometimes I'll play it on the Switch and sometimes I won't. Sometimes it'll be like, oh yeah, look, they added new games. I should go back and I've been meaning to play Diddy's Conquest. I should go play that instead. So I don't know. I just kind of want reasons to think positively about the Switch and Nintendo Switch Online. And this usually does enough for me. The games themselves that get added at this point, I'm always expecting 0. So the fact that they do 1 and some other stuff that maybe I won't care about is enough for me, which I guess is a real low bar, and that's just what you're going to get with me on a Nintendo podcast. I apologize. That's just what it is.
Low bar, Jeff Grubb.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think I'm mostly there. You know, with each of these systems, I'm sure I can think of a few things, and I'm like specifically disappointed. It seems like whatever deal they had with Sega has dried up, and we haven't gotten Genesis games in a while for whatever reason.
Yeah, I bet that reason is just like, you know, you get busy, right? Sega's got a lot of other pokers in the fire now, right? They got iron in the fire. They got all those old games that they're bringing back with new games, and so these deals they might have made with Nintendo probably don't rank at the moment, especially for the amount of money that Nintendo would probably share with them.
All right, Jeff, let's talk about the Switch 2, our favorite thing to do on this podcast until they announce the actual thing. But hey, that might be coming soon, and new leaks suggest that Switch 2 may actually be the final name of the console. Production has apparently started on this thing, so like Switch 2s are real right now, right? There are completed Switch 2s in the final retail boxes, and apparently that box has a big old 2 on the side. Workers are supposedly making 1,000 units a day.
Each worker. Each worker is like
each worker.
Each worker is getting their hands on 1,000 a day, is what that means. So there could be, you know, not that each one's making 1,000, but it's an assembly line. So 1,000 comes in front of them each day, and there's probably multiple lines where multiple workers are doing that.
Yeah. It's rumored to be slightly larger than the original Switch, smaller bezel. Joy-Cons will be black and white, which, I mean, the OLED ones are white with a little bit of black. So I don't know if it means like one black Joy-Con, one white Joy-Con,
or maybe there's like one black SKU and one white SKU. Who knows? Yeah.
It's a possibility. Expected to have bigger battery life, some AI features, and NVIDIA DLSS support, which I assume is one and the same thing. I don't know what other AI features the Switch 2 would have. It's not gonna have like a Cortana, is it?
No, again, this sentence right here was kind of just me scrambling to put stuff together for the Bombcast, where it's like, this is stuff taken from these stories where people mentioned at some point this stuff had been mentioned. I don't know if like on the side of the box it says AI or even DLSS. It probably does say DLSS on the box, but I don't think we know that for sure from this sentence. Like, there's also like the dual screen design. That's another thing that had been rumored. And we don't know if that's true, 2, what that looks like. 'Cause it probably doesn't mean that there's 2 screens flipping up.
No.
It probably means it connects wirelessly to a TV, and then you do what? You get the Wii U TV button back, and you can control your TV with that.
Hooray.
I hope so.
Maybe it just means Nintendo DS and 3DS ports. So the big thing here is everybody's wondering where they're just going to call this thing. I have been a proponent of just calling it the Switch 2 for a long time. Like, where are you on that name? Are you okay with that? Do you find it kind of boring? Do you like it?
Well,
are you shocked that it's looking like it's going to be the final name?
You know, I don't care too much about names, so I was like, whatever. But it's definitely something that, like, it's interesting to think about because, like, the history of Nintendo has been, they try a different name kind of each time. They do a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, the Nintendo DS, the 3DS. There's the DS, the DSi. The XL, some of these things are self-explanatory. Some of these things suggest an idea, like the DSi. It's like, well, it's internet connected and it has a app store and stuff like that. So that's why it has the I in there. And sometimes it's Wii U, and I think they were so burned by Wii U that when people are like, hey, Switch 2 sounds too safe. I saw someone in chat say that. That's too safe for Nintendo. And I'm like, yeah, when you look on the whole timeline of what Nintendo has done and you compare this to all of those names, yeah, I agree. That's too safe. This doesn't sound very Nintendo. But then when you look at the most recent lesson that they learned, which is it's very important to establish that this thing is something new. And the easiest way to do that is with a safe name like Switch 2. Everyone does it. The best-selling consumer electronics devices in the world do it. Like there's the iPhone 16 now. There's Samsung Galaxy 22, the Pixel 9 Pro. Every single one of these things that people are used to buying very frequently has a number on it. So I think it's probably the right move because they know that consumers will understand that means this is new, and without having to use the goddamn word "new" again.
Yeah, I hate that naming convention.
And that was like not even that new, right? New 3DS. It was just the 3DS, a little bit more power. So it's like that's confusing too. Nintendo should just use 2. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know it's kind of hard to look at the console after the Switch 2, but I don't think it's going to be some big pivot. Not these days, where the amount of the pivots that are out there are pretty few and far between. The next console is probably just going to be another Switch. At least that's what I would assume right now. And if you call this something wacky like the Super Nintendo Switch, well, what the hell are you going to call the next one?
The Ultra 64 Switch.
Yeah, you just call this the Switch 2, then it's going to be real easy. Just call the next one the Switch 3.
Right, and you can do a Switch 2 XL, Switch 2i, Switch 2, whatever they want in between there. And then when they go to 3, they're indicating this is the new thing, and it's very easy to understand at that point.
Right. There's just such a strong brand here with the Switch. That was the reasoning with the Wii and the Wii U thing also. But
right,
it's just
they always keep the brand around for at least 2 iterations, though. So yeah, the Wii U was just a bad execution, absolutely.
Yeah. So sorry to the Super Nintendo Switch fans out there.
I like the idea too, but you know what? We have a console for people who want something to be called Super Nintendo. It's the Super Nintendo. You just go play that.
There you go. So you'll all be fine. All right. And then, hey, we thought that maybe we're going to get some Switch bundles this holiday season, and instead of doing an actual price cut, we'll just get that. Well, there are going to be some holiday Switch bundles. Guess what exciting, fresh Switch game they're going to come with? That's right, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
People in Australia are like, oh, these things are so expensive. At least you get the Super Mario Brothers Wonder bundle, and they're still just giving us the Mario Kart 8 bundle. It's crazy at this point.
Yeah, so there's going to be a normal version and an OLED version. It's just a Switch with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Also comes with a 12-month Nintendo Switch Online membership. Normal bundle will cost $300. So total savings there will be about $80. OLED bundle, $350. Again, combined savings of about $80 there. So, I mean, it's nice. It's maybe something that's going to help them move Switches. It's, again, effectively a price cut, not a permanent one or anything like that, but it's a cheaper way to get the Switch. I still think it's a very boring way to give people $80 of savings.
Yep.
I'm kind of shocked we're just not at a moment where there are so many Mario games, there are so many Zelda games. I'm shocked that we can't have a Mario bundle and a Zelda bundle.
Yeah, that's where I agree, because there's 2 bundles, right? They're both Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. One is OLED, one is the Switch Standard, and it's like, man, why wouldn't you make that Switch OLED one a different game? Because there are going to be some people who actually will still upgrade their original Switch now, even before, as we know the Switch 2 is coming. That's not a huge audience, but they are
going to do it for what is already your most. It's your best-selling game, which is a reason to do it, but it's also your best-selling game. It is the game people are most likely to already have.
Yeah, and I'm not saying don't do the bundle. Do the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bundle. Clearly, it's worked. It's worked maybe better than any bundle in the history of the world. That's why they keep doing it. But I think you should, if your goal here is to sell those 15 million Switches this year, cater to me. Put a new game or a newish game at a slightly reduced price, even if it's $350 for the OLED, or $380 for the OLED with a game that is normally $60. And if it's a newer game, I'm like, well, I'm like, I should just get this thing. But clearly they don't feel the need, which continues to surprise me. But it's like, I want them to try to cater to the people that already have the Switch with these bundles, and they're just not doing that.
No, yeah, exactly. It's not like it's some special console or anything.
No. These bundles are for people that are new to the Switch still, which is wild that they're still catering to that audience, but I think they think that's where their bread's going to be mostly buttered still.
Right. A lot of it is children, and again, it's something that has helped the Switch. There are always children. I mean, you and Emma Pfeiffer talking about this, I think, on Game-S Mornings yesterday, that there are just people who are old enough now to get a Switch and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe who were born after these things came out.
Yep.
It's wild.
Amy was born the year that Super Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out, and yeah, there's definitely a world where she could be getting her own Switch this holiday with Mario Kart 8. Yeah.
Right. I guess in terms of the newer games, maybe there wasn't one there that was super obvious to do one with. Maybe Mario Party Jamboree, but Brothership's probably not a bundle game for them.
No, not Brothership. Yeah. I mean, Wonder feels like
Maybe
the most
Zelda.
obvious one. That one's last year, and a lot of people are already going to own it, but just not 65 million people own it. So I don't know. I think that this is just how it goes because Nintendo looks at the numbers and it all kind of works out how they expect it to, and they don't feel much of a need. So that keeps saying like they think they're selling enough Switches, even though the last quarter they weren't selling enough to get to their number. But maybe they're like, hey, we're going to come in under and whatever. We'll have a down year right before we're about to launch the Switch 2. And so our stock will take a temporary hit and it will immediately bounce back. So we're not actually too worried about missing 1 year's estimation. Like that's something that does happen.
Speaking of the Switch 2, we talked about that earlier with it being just in production now. Are you feeling like this announcement is happening? Maybe not this month. I know that got thrown around there. I guess maybe it could. There's not that much of this month left, but do you think soonish?
I think the two most likely times in my mind still, I think we talked about this recently, but is next week or March. So it's like,
Jesus.
Yeah, right. It's like, listen, it could happen in December. It could happen anytime. I'm just saying that in my mind, those seem like the two most likely times. I think before the month is out, there's a good chance we could still hear about this.
I'm still it's coming out. Oh, sorry.
I was finishing my thought that just because it's going in production, so they'll probably want to say something. So yeah, but yeah, what are you gonna say?
I just thought I'm still this thing's coming out like around April, believer, and I don't know, maybe it's 90, but I still believe that in my heart of hearts.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if there's still a strong chance for that, there's I know analysts that were thinking it could maybe actually come back into March and launch in this fiscal year, which I don't think is possible, but yeah, I think they want to get onto the Switch too. I think Nintendo's finally feeling the urge to do that when they hadn't up until maybe this most recent quarter.
All right, Jeff, why don't we take a quick break here? I see a bunch of a bunch of super chats rolling in. We'll tackle those in a moment.
Sounds good.
Break.
Something went down.
Oh,
Wrong pipe. Yeah, I'm good.
He died.
So then just saying, I don't know what that was. I'm good to just go back into it though.
Yeah, I'll be good here.
1 second.
Are you finally getting some context? Finally getting back to you about Ridge Racer?
Not Ridge Racer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Do
Okay.
I need to get a message a DM right now, real quick?
No, it's nothing for this show especially. So it's stuff I'm working on. But okay. All right, Mike, you can bring us back whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Are we gonna do super chats? Then are we gonna do another break?
Yeah.
Or you wanna?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we'll do our break. There's enough super chats.
Perfect.
All right. And we're back. Jeff, sir, please read these super chats.
All right, let's see. And listen, I knew we were doing this, and I could have been getting it ready, but I didn't. All right,
That's all right.
That's where I'm at. From Big Jimbo Ryan, slurred speech, but not like Mike, and we learned that is him saying he doesn't use slurs in his speech. He just has slurred speech.
Oh.
Yeah. I have info that might be dangerous, but here goes. Has anyone noticed that we've never seen Jeff and Mike in the same room as Robo Mitch and Bat Grubb? Look, these rumors and hearsay, it's getting absurd at this point. It's really embarrassing.
Isn't that a lie? Didn't we dress up as those two characters last year at PAX West together?
I wasn't at PAX West. Bat Grubb was though, so I don't know what you're talking about, Mike.
Oh, I'm getting it now. I get it now. I'm an idiot.
We got there. All right.
And killing it, everybody.
Simon from Saskatchewan. Have you ever heard of the Doctor Who game for Wii? It's beyond awful. Terrible camera and awful mini games. No U.S. release though. It's really short, and the setting for it is on the SS Lucy Gray.
I see what we're suggesting here.
I think it'd be fun to make her dress as the Doctor. I'll take a look at this. We do have an idea of the game we wanted to play. So, and by we, I mean me. So I get to decide. I won. So
I will say, do you think Lucy James has a Wii ready to go? I don't know.
That's a
or
good
way
question.
to plug it
It's a
into
good question. That's why we were leaning towards a PC game because of that. So we do have one in mind, and we have an outfit that would be very funny to see her in.
Although, considering how much of giant nerd Dan Rickert loves to be like, this thing's for nerds, there's something about making him play a Doctor Who game at some point that might be funny.
I do think eventually karma will come for us all, and we will all be playing Wii games pretty regularly on Blight Club for the next several years.
One and done.
Yeah, you keep saying that. Simon from Saskatchewan is back. When I was younger, my parents didn't have a lot of money, so they'd buy cheap Super Nintendo games. One of those games was Out to Lunch, where you can where you catch walking food and put it in a cage. Have you ever played it? No, but it sounds like a Burger Time like. I like that.
Yeah, I have no memory of Out to Lunch for the SNES. Oh god, this box art almost looks kind of familiar though. You know, it doesn't look like a terrible.
Yeah.
It looks better than I was expecting. I'll say that.
Yeah, let me take a look here. Yeah, no, I recognize this. Yeah. Or maybe I am just thinking of Burger Time because it does look very Burger Time coded. Yeah.
It's got Burger Time energy.
All right. Dr. Ryan. Mike's taste in sweets is so over the all over the place, I think they mean. So I was just genuinely wondering if Mike likes pudding.
Can't stand it.
All right, there it is.
I hate pudding, and I hate Jell-O and yogurt. I don't like.
It's all texture, isn't it?
You don't like plasma. You like solids. You like liquids, but not when a solid has liquid inside of it. And you don't like the state in between.
I don't like spooning semi-solid things like that. Ice cream's fine, but even then, I don't spoon it. I like it in a cone.
The only thing that should jiggle is the physics of squirrel girls in video games, in Mike's opinion. Dr. Ryan does remind me, though. Dr. Ryan is one of those people who has 1 million platinums. And I got to say, Mike, you saying that Astrobot was your first platinum. Not that I have any problem with platinum. People who do have a lot of platinums, that's also cool. But hearing you say, I'm like, Mike's a real gamer. This is that's my kind of man right there. Just goes in there. He knows what he wants from games, and he doesn't need no corporation telling him how to have fun. Oh, my hell yeah, dude. So I was like definitely vibing with you on that.
If you're trying to rizz me up, it's working.
I mean it. It was like, hell yeah, that's the right way to play games. Not that there's a wrong way, clearly, but I agree with Mike, I think. Jacob Bench says, is the Plucky Squire the new Death's Door? I mean, we gotta see what Mike thinks of it, and then we'll.
It's true.
If
Maybe
me and Mike both
it.
don't like it, then yeah, I actually can't wait for you to play it and not like it. It doesn't matter.
I don't really care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You still got your points.
It to have a good open critic score, which it does. Now, it may not be good enough because Jeff Grubb kick his Goxler again.
I don't think I did. Am I still here?
Oh, you're here. Your video just froze.
Something got disconnected. I think it must be my camera. Okay.
It might just be the camera that you're showing on Discord, though. You might be completely fine on the video.
Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. Yes.
Don't worry about it. It's a funny freeze frame for me, anyways. But yeah, I don't. It's completely fine if I don't like Pokemon. So in fact, a lot of the reasons why you're saying you don't like it sound like things that might bother me. So whatever. But yeah, we'll give it a shot here. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I mean, I got 15 points from that, which is pretty good. But then Dan got 15 points from Frostpunk 2, and UFO 50 is at a 90, and if it stays there, that's good enough for like the 5 bonus points you get for a 90.
I think it's got to be over
game.
90, right? It's got to be 91 for that, right?
Oh, okay. Oh, then maybe
I can't remember. Sean, do you remember what it is?
It needs to be over 90. So like a 91, you'll score 2 points for the 1 point there.
Okay.
On the 91.
So we'll see. I'm still
not great. He's still got a lot of points in that game.
He's the new favorite. But I'm not completely out of it.
Yes.
Not completely out of it.
Yeah, and listen, if Flight Simulator and Neva both hit, I think I'm still in there too, but I'm not feeling great about it anymore. All right, let's see here. I think we are on Super Blast X, who says, thanks for always going live when I'm at the gym. Makes it way better. Yesterday was my birthday, 35 years old. Happy birthday, Super Blast X.
Happy birthday.
Thanks for everything you guys do. No, thank you. We appreciate you coming in, listening. Especially everybody that does that when they're like doing something else, like working out. We always love hanging out with you guys while you're making that happen. Chrono Rig says, hey dogs, in the original Switch reveal trailer, we saw Mario Odyssey for the first time. What games do you think we'll see in this reveal trailer?
So our kind of community topic that we're doing after this is, what do you want to see in the Switch 2 reveal? That can mean a lot of things. But for me, like the one big one, and I think there's a good chance, is just actually the next 3D Mario game.
Yep.
It's clearly going to be the big launch game, right? It's been a long time since then. So if there's only one, it'll be that. And if there's two, the next Mario Kart seems like a distinct possibility. Again, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe just sold a zillion copies. It's going to be important for them to get that out on the new Switch as soon as possible. Even if it's not a launch game, they'll want to show it immediately.
Yep. All right, let's see here. From Nintendogs. Have you tried the Oreo Coke slushy yet? A gas station near me has it, and it's addictive. Also, any plans for Halloween-related games this year? Yeah, I definitely want to do some fun spooky games on Giant Bomb at the very least. And no, I've not tried the Oreo Coke slushy. How about you, Mike?
No, I used to like ices specifically a lot when I was younger. These days, I don't jive with it quite as much. I'd rather just have the normal drink. Maybe it's going back to that semi-solid food thing again. I don't know. You know what? I like a creme brulee though, and that's kind of like a pudding. So there
yeah,
you go.
But it has the hard surface that you have to crack through, and that's fun. That's really satisfying. Yeah, and it doesn't happen in your mouth, right? You're it's happening right there on the plate, so like you can predict it, and it's not going to surprise you with chocolate juices.
Yeah, that's right. I think that kind of sugar cracker surface is doing a lot of work. I'm really excited for Halloween game this year. As I get older, each year I'm kind of more and more into spooky and just straight up horror video games. I did buy the original Dino Crisis before the Dreamcast.
Look for the Dreamcast.
My Dreamcast is all set up now and ready to go. So I want to do that. And gosh, Sean, did something win the new Game S Game Club poll yet? We're running that, and there were some spooky games in there, including Resident Evil 3 Remake, which, regardless of if that wins or not, I am going to check that one out. That's going to be fun. But
yeah, we never announced that, did we, Mike?
The poll on here?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did it at everyone. I think everyone in the Game Club knew at least. The poll's still running, so hey, it's announced. So if you... Oh, wait, no, it's not.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's done. Yeah, Resident Evil 3 won.
Hey, that's nice. Oh, look, so it was Dredge and Little Nightmares also. Dredge almost caught up to it. Hey, yeah, we're playing Resident Evil 3 Remake. So yeah, those two for sure, and maybe some other things.
Mike, now that you have a bunch of like horror games like Resident Evil's behind on your back, are you willing to play like an actual like horror game, like an Outlast, something like that?
Outlast?
Yeah.
I don't know much about Outlast, but sure,
it's
whatever.
like one of the most popular like traditional horror games right now in like the last like 10 years or so. That started on like PS4, right? Outlast.
No, I thought it was PC.
Well, I mean, like the PS4 generation. I mean, like in
2013.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I like Slurpees, so I'll try this. Maybe, I don't know. I think I just like the original Coke Slurpee occasionally because I don't drink pop too frequently. It's like a treat for me at this point.
The Coke or the cherry. I mean, it's weird because I again used to love them. Like I have distinct memories of going to the mall with my mom. It doesn't sound like
you hate them now. You said it's not your jam.
Right. It's just kind of like they're not the easiest thing in the world to drink a lot of the time. But yeah, again, like man, I can distinctly remember that time and place going to the mall. There's just one stand, or I get an icy, and then going over to the arcade that had the Mortal Kombat machine and playing that, and it was good times.
Yep, good times.
Mike, you like jam, Mike? Because he's not your jam.
Absolutely don't like jam or jelly. No way.
Epic Open World says, Mike, tell us about DJ Ass Tits. Was she cool?
DJ Ass Tits. So spoilers if you have not watched the travel log yet. But yes, we did get to meet up with DJ Ass Tits for a bit.
Jealous.
Dan just makes anything happen, and got in contact with her through Instagram, and she did manage to come out to where we were and hang out for just a little bit to film that bit. And she was great. She was totally game for everything. It only took her one take to do the thing we had planned. Yeah, she was an absolute delight. Was very, very nice. We are all giant DJ Ass Tits fans now. Check out her SoundCloud and her Instagram and all that stuff. She was just fantastic. You know what? And I told her this. We think your name's funny, but everybody in like the Reddit places are like, oh, and her music's actually pretty good. This stuff's not bad. So nothing to dislike about DJ Ass Tits.
No, just an all-around great human being. That was a really good travelogue, and that was an incredible capper on it. So yeah, people should go watch that. All right, the Uncharted Wolf. What PlayStation crossover would you all rather have? PlayStation All-Stars 2, a PlayStation Hero Shooter, God Rest Concord, or PlayStation Kart?
easy PlayStation All-Stars 2.
I think that's probably right.
Right. We have so many new characters we can throw in there now. We don't have to like dig in the bottom of the barrel for Fat Princess and whatever now. You can have Astro in there.
I kind of think it should be an Astro platform shooter or platform fighter, I should say. But they can dress up as all the different characters. Not dress up. They are the characters, but like the bots from Astro Bot.
No, I know what you mean. And like, I don't hate that. I'd rather just everybody is who they are.
I think
whatnot.
that I guess it works in Smash Brothers. It goes like the characters just all sometimes look so different, like they're like so disparate that it feels I don't know, weird to me. But I guess they can make it work. I don't know.
I don't see Astro being that violent. You know what I mean? I don't see I don't want to see the butts like hurting.
Yeah, but
it's
like the original Smash Brothers on 64 was like, oh, they're toys and the hands are picking up and making them fight. They could just make it like that. All right, let's see here. Lurkin with my gherkin. Really hope they call it the switcheroo, and it comes with a little pouch to put your weed in. Sure. Yeah, that's very likely.
The weed pouch.
Yeah, the weed pouch, of course. George Green Thumbs says, if there's one thing Nintendo can learn from Sony, it's clear and unambiguous naming conventions. Switch 2 might be a boring name, but sometimes the boring choice is the right choice.
Look, so the name of this podcast, at least on YouTube, is Switch 2 named Switch 2? And if you think that's funny, it's like, well, it's funny only because it's like, yeah, it is kind of a stupid, obvious question. Just name it the Switch 2.
Yep. Yep. And it's like, the name is not going to matter unless it's bad and confusing. That's the only time the name really matters. And so just do the boring thing that is obvious, and then you don't have that problem. Chucktowski. Hello, Chucktowski says, I mean, let's get weird. What if Switch 2 ships with 2 screens? I kind of doubt the second screen equals TV thing due to being snake bit by the Wii U. Yeah, obviously there'd have to be some new technology there.
Yeah, like where's the second screen go now is kind of the thing.
What if it just pops out? It's like hiding in the body and they just pops out.
Ooh, you push a button and it pops out. That would be very satisfying.
And that's like, it's the new Switch sound.
Yeah, maybe more of a Switch 3 feature though. I don't know.
Maybe. Honestly, it's like one of the things that did come out of this reporting is that they do think the magnetic thing is how the new Joy-Con will connect. Maybe that feature that someone showed online that was like, this would be cool, where like you could take the Joy-Cons off, turn the Switch into Tate mode, and then just reconnect the Joy-Cons right back onto the thing. Maybe that does work, and that's how they do like DS stuff by stacking the screens on top of one vertical screen. It's
okay.
There's something there, maybe.
Am I wrong to be concerned about this magnets thing? Like, don't magnets fail after a while?
I'm no expert, Mike. I know it's electromagnets, so I don't know. I feel like most like industrial magnets that they would use in these devices, like MagSafe has been a thing on Mac stuff for a very long time. And I don't think those things have failed, really.
Okay.
So
yeah, it's probably. I'm sure magnets
Jeff,
are just good enough.
Have you heard about these new magnets that lock when you run a current through them and unlock when you reverse polarity?
Right, and I thought that's what the reporting early on was saying that these things would be. That's right.
Like if you're unfamiliar, that's how it works. Where like it will be a secure connection until you like the Joy-Con would like run a current through it again and then unlock it, and then that would be handled in software. Yeah,
right.
Kind of cool.
And might make it more malleable, where they could do more with how the thing.
And theoretically, maybe even more secure than the rails, because the rails fail after time because they're mechanical.
Right, exactly. And if that would be, that's what I really want. I want it to feel very secure. Okay, let's see here. Oh, I lost my place. Chucktowski was the last one, right? There we go.
Yeah, Drake Jens
says, love you guys. Was in Ohio for the first time this last weekend as my younger brother was competing in Riptide as a Splatoon 3 player. Oh, very cool. Is that in Ohio? I didn't know. Oh, there you go.
Excuse me. Sorry, sneezes.
I didn't know Riptide. What is Riptide? I guess I don't.
I'm going to find out. Riptide. Ohio.
That's a Smash tournament.
Is okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, but they do other.
Is it Kalahari? Hell yeah!
Oh, the water park.
It was at Kalahari. I bet you had so much fun. I love Kalahari. Yeah,
that's a good lazy river
park resort.
Yeah,
I might be going there right before the Game Awards this year to hang out with some family. Yeah, very good lazy river. An amazing hot tub pool that is both indoor and goes outdoor.
Oh, I love
the indoor area has a swim up bar.
Now, is it a hot tub pool or is it just a heated pool?
It's pretty hot.
Okay, it might be a hot tub pool. I don't.
Maybe not
don't
like
remember.
quite hot tub levels, but it's not definitely more than just a heated pool. It's very warm. Because like we would go during winter months usually.
Right.
You go outside and it's like snowing, and you're in this very
You're in
warm
the warm pool. Yes.
With a giant novelty alcoholic beverage. Oh, good times. Good times at Kalahari.
So much piss in that pool, but that doesn't matter. Chlorine's gonna kill it.
Yeah.
All right. Allie Miracle says, next Mario Kart about to have some high expectations all around, huh? Lol. Yeah, I mean, yes, but also I'm like, is there more of a sure thing than a new Mario Kart?
Right. Yeah, like how could like maybe it doesn't sell quite as much as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
It only sells as well as the Wii one, which was a 45 million. So yeah.
Yeah, how could it miss? How could it miss? Now, it is like a little. It's getting trickier and trickier differentiating these things. How much prettier is Mario Kart going to look? Because they got Mario Kart 8 looking
an incredible looking game.
Right. So you have to find some other ways to mix things up, and that's why we're getting things like Civilization 7 adding like features that almost sound scary to some people. Like, what do you mean you changed Civilization's mid-game? And it's kind of like, well, look, like otherwise, why even make a new Civilization? Because Civilization 6 just looks like any other video game now.
Yep.
But, I'm curious to see what that is. If it is like going as far as doing the whole, like we said, kind of Super Smash Brothers kart thing, or if you do a new feature, like a bit more of a drastic new feature, all double dash. I'm not sure. It'll be fun to see, though.
Our Truth is back. It says, hey, Jordan and Andy, what's up? Did I miss your energy drink review? Love the important work y'all do at BJeepC. Thank you very much, Our Truth. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, R.
Yeah. Yep, and that's he's Jordan, I'm Andy, of course. Mr. Geldy says, hey, dogs, think we'll see Prime 2 on Switch still?
Hope so. I hope so.
I mean, I hope so too. Especially if because that could be something that still like drops in like a January direct like Prime 1 did. I don't know. We'll see. It's definitely something that's kind of sitting around, but that we know they have a ton of things that are sitting around that they did not even announce, like that Fire Emblem remake. So who knows what they're saving those things for? Maybe they're saving them for Switch 2 now, or like, they could be cross-release games where it's like, oh, it's a Switch 1 and you can get it on Switch 2, of course.
Right. But, even if the Switch 2 is as soon as April or March, so we have Donkey Kong in January, but there's still like, February and whatnot. So, there's still some times here.
War Rizzle says, appreciate you, dogs. Keep up the great work. Thank you so much, War Rizzle. That was also your 10th super chat. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
El Grug says, imagine if the current Mike, who gets janceled every week, became the old Mike who drank all of the mezcal. Mike might invent new slurs. I can't wait to see what that looks like. Definitely. Absolutely. That slurs are just his thing, and he wants everybody to know.
No, it's not. I specifically said in as serious tone as I can that we're moving on from this. Thank you, Colossus Mike.
Willow Davis says, how far from Mike's B-Day is the Switch 2 release?
30, 60, 9. I'm going to say 122 days.
All right. Well, you heard it here first. Dr. Ryan says, putting these nuts in your mouth, Mike.
Wow, I thought that you were a professional. Jeff was the one who said that you're not a real gamer.
No, you're also a real gamer. It's like just Mike's definitely a real gamer too, is all I meant.
Yeah, sure.
Burrito says, hey guys, just saying thanks for the late pod accompanying my drive home after work. Cheers. Thank you so much for tuning in, Burrito. Really appreciate it.
Welcome.
Saxo Roxo, I tried the Oreo Coke Zero and was underwhelmed by the weak vanilla flavor. What's your favorite soda of all time? Favorite soda? Underwhelmed still like, I think that's fine for a novelty flavor where it's like, you can be underwhelmed as long as it's not disgusting, I think is kind of the bar.
Have you tried one yet?
No, I will, but I haven't.
You better.
I will.
I think the two goats are Coke Zero
and
Diet Dr. Pepper.
That's right. Yeah, it's Dr. Pepper, Diet Dr. Pepper specifically has been like the thing I'm like really enjoying right now. Even Dr. Pepper Zero is good.
Yeah, it's like Diet Dr. Pepper is so easily the best of the just diet branded sodas that Dr. Pepper Zero is almost irrelevant.
It's redundant. Yes, it's redundant. And then Coke is just fantastic. All right.
Get that Pepsi shit out of here. I don't want to hear about no Starry.
I like wild cherry Pepsi. It's good. From Arju Fijid Bud Fud Do Fud.
Can I call you Fahogwa Gods? Kids remember that one still?
What?
Fahogwa Gods from Strong Bad Emails.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the kids remember that.
Fahogwa Gods and say, come on, Fahogwa Gods. Flash cartoons. It's the future of entertainment.
So fucking old.
Been playing Suicide Squad, and wow, it's but it's fun. Any games you feel like the gamer Illuminati has gaslit people into hating? Poe. Yeah, Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. You've been playing that still, enjoying it?
Yeah, and I enjoy it more all the time. It is one it's a better game to take your time with. The way that they had people review that game in a couple of days was just their own damn fault. Like, they have no one to blame but themselves for not getting a little bit better reception with that game. But I'm not even really talking about the reviewers. There was definitely like the preconceived, ready to go hate campaign for that game just because of Ubisoft. Which again, people don't like Ubisoft, whatever. But I was like, hey, this game has problems. I'm still enjoying it, and people just could not handle that those two concepts were true at the same time. And like my tweet went viral of people like dunking on it because I'm like, I like this game that's kind of only okay and has these problems where I'm like, I don't think the stealth is great when you start. And then I keep playing it, and it just keeps getting better all around. It's just a cool world to hang out in.
I'm trying to think, like, because I also kind of enjoy Suicide Squad, but I totally get why people don't like it. Although, like, I may be so shocked that people are like as harsh on it as they are. So maybe that one a little bit.
I mean, we have hate trains in gaming all the time, and it's very
more so than lately.
Yeah, and it's just it's easy to jump on them sometimes. So
that's why Skull and Bones is so impressive to me, because it seems like people couldn't even muster up hate for it.
Yep. No
that's
feelings
how
at all.
underwhelming it was. No feelings.
Mikey O'Leary says it'll be Mario Kart Triple X. So just a shirtless, nipples out Mario.
I'm trying to think if there's any chance that, like, maybe I shouldn't say this, which is always an amazing way to start going. Wonder if there's any chance. No, I'm not going to. Actually, I'm not going to say that thought,
Good
Mike.
job, Mike. I'm so proud of you.
This one wasn't a slur, right? This was not.
It wasn't a slur.
No, because that's not what we're doing anymore. So,
but I may have. Yeah. Look, I was just following this train of thought about a triple X themed Mario Kart to its natural conclusion.
You seen that music video the guy made about like Princess Peach cheating on Bowser? Apparently that's gone so viral that like Steph was showing it to me. She's like, "This is funny." I'm like, "Well, it is very funny," but I didn't know everyone was watching this now. Colonel Wood says Smash Kart character reveal trailers would rule. Yeah, of course.
Oh gosh, I mean,
that is how they differentiate the next Mario Kart, right? It's just everybody's here.
Yeah, and that's the inherent like strength of just pulling more from the Nintendo catalog, is that you do get these inherent, like, the marketing campaign is so easy when it's just like, we're gonna announce a new character, everybody, and you're gonna get really excited about that. And boy, will I! And they got so good at those reveal trailers over the last couple Smash Brother games, right? They were always super entertaining. It was always just fun to watch people react to those. So yeah, I'd be totally down for that.
Sean J says the Switch 2 gimmick should be budget VR. They experimented with Labo VR already, and a better screen / Joy-Cons designed with VR in mind could be cool. Yeah, too narrow of an audience.
Too late.
Yeah, it'd be hard for people to get excited about that. People just want to have their Switch so they can play what they consider to be real video games wherever they want, and that's what they want Nintendo to focus on. Dan the Brad says the cheat is grounded. So,
you understand that reference?
I don't understand that reference. Do you understand?
You were not a Homestar Runner guy? Really?
Oh no, definitely not. No,
wow.
I don't think I watched a single second of it.
Wow. You were a little bit older than me, because like in high school, everybody cared so much about Homestar Runner. Not a single
person in high school ever mentioned Homestar Runner to me.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit after, because you're 3 years older than me.
I graduated 2001.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this would have not. Yeah. This was like 2004.
Yeah, I was like working in like factories at this point, and they were not bringing up Homestar Runner to me there. No.
You missed out. It was great. I loved Homestar Runner. That's still among the best Telltale games too. Actually, it was good stuff.
Adam Steen says everybody to the limit. The cheat is to the limit. Come on, everybody. You could say this. I'm sure this is a Homestar.
God.
Fahogwa Gods. Okay.
Yeah. Come on for Hogue with God. There's a cup on for Hogue with God. Everybody to the limit. The treat is to the limit. Come on, everybody. It was just, it's like his thing was that he would answer emails, and the one guy just smashed a bunch of keys and he tried to read out loud, and like the only thing he could pronunciate was this part that sounded like Fahog with God. So he's like, can I just call you Fahog with God? And then later he made a music video about Fahog with Gods.
If I wanted to watch this now, is that still possible? It's probably all on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Internet Archive, maybe.
I think it's all on an official YouTube channel still, and I bet you can find like this video specifically. It's pretty popular still.
All right, yeah. I will start a Giant Bomb series where me and Dan watch it, and I'll see how much Dan enjoys it.
He hates internet humor, despite the fact that he is a humorist whose
internet
content
man.
exists primarily on the internet. He does not like it.
Well, he's just so bacon narwhal, right? I mean, that guy. Jeez, Mike. I think we got one more here. Chun 2D2 says, long overdue. The show's got me through my first games industry layoff last year. So sorry to hear that, Chun2T2. Thankfully, been back for a bit. Thanks for the good vibes every week. Yeah, Mike, I'll say thank you, Chun, once again.
Thank you, Chun. Really appreciate it.
I think our show's going to have longevity because we don't like overreact to everything. We just kind of like come in, like we're not, I don't know, not too emotional. We come in here and we just want to talk about games. And I'm really glad that that's the niche we found ourselves in here on YouTube.
We get emotional about some things, and they tend to be very stupid.
Very stupid things, yes.
Like Fahog with Gods.
Of course, Fahog with Gods, yes. That does it for the Super Chats, though. Back to you.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Jeff. Thank you, everybody who sent a Super Chat. If you still want to send a Super Chat, we will read them before the end of the show. Why don't we take a quick break? And like I said, we have a topic here. Hey, one more for Hear You, Peekaboo. I'll read it. Just says one more. Thanks thanks to both of you. Keep it up. Thank you, Peekaboo. Appreciate always seeing you around here. All right, take that break. We'll be right back.
We are on the break. All right. Jeff, do you want to set up the thread?
Not particularly, but I'm going to do it.
Whoa, why am I so sneezy all of a sudden?
I'm going to do it.
Lance, not really. I mean, in high school, we did some musical in high school, but I was like barely in the one that we did, actually. I didn't get an amazing part. So no, never actually did much actual musical theater. Would like to. Don't have time to join a community theater or anything right now, though, sadly. I think was it Jeff that I told about my secret desire to play the lead in Sweeney Todd one day? I think I'd kill it.
You did tell me that.
It's not secret anymore.
No, well, it wasn't like, there's no reason it was a secret, except that I just never vocalized it. But I think I'd kill it.
All right, there's that.
For Aladdin, maybe it's the genie, not as Aladdin.
Why not?
Those damn Yankees. Yeah, there's a production of Those Damn Yankees, and I was in a background singing part of it at one point. Oh yeah, we have our Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Christmas show, which we'll probably be doing this Christmas. So
Mike painted head to toe in blue. What a scene that would be!
Sure would be.
Is it that blue skin? Blue
It
face?
is. It's very problematic.
Yes, Smurfs are very pissed off. Elmo does it.
Okay.
I remember
I am set up.
We were forbidden for watch the Smurfs because they were like the 7 deadly sins or some shit like that.
Really?
Oh, sure.
Was Smurfette lust?
Mike, you already know the answer.
Yeah,
right?
come on, bud.
Yeah, I know the answer, I guess. Okay, just making sure. It's Gargamel.
Are there only 7 Smurfs?
No,
Maybe 7 named ones. There's 7 bespoke ones, right? There's a lot of Smurfs.
There are a bunch.
Yeah, they're like toads, you know? They all have such specific roles, specific characteristics that they're kind of like that.
There's Nerd Smurf, there's Mad Smurf, Zip Smurf.
That is just like what life was like back in the 80s, where it's like, well, I guess Smurfs is the cartoon that's on right now, so I guess I'm watching Smurfs. Like, I never sought out Smurfs.
I was like that way with Doug. I never really liked Doug. I saw every episode
I liked
like 5
Doug, but
times.
I also didn't seek it out. I like Doug in hindsight. You're right. I was not at the time. I was like, man, I could really go for some Doug.
That was a little before my time. Do you guys feel differently about old Doug and new Doug?
I don't feel anything about new Doug. I don't. What's new Doug? What's new Doug?
When Disney got the rights, it was brand spanking new
Never
Doug.
watched the second of New Doug.
That's what the movie was a continuation of that.
That's what most of Doug is, like as you remember it.
No, most of Doug's Nickelodeon Doug stuff.
Okay, as the average human being who's not 1,000,000 years old. Sorry.
No, I don't. I think you're okay.
There's a way. I'm just gonna look this up. How many episodes? We're talking about the quantity episodes, right? That's the question.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Doug.
I think there was definitely more Nickelodeon Doug than Disney Doug.
All right, there was.
I don't like the way Chef says Doug. I don't know why.
Doug. Okay, there was Games Animation 1 to 4 seasons, then Nickelodeon Productions 1 to 4 seasons, then Walt Disney did episodes or seasons 5 through 7. So that would be 5.
But seasons is real weird with old cartoons. Like a season could be 15 episodes. It could
be
100.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well then let's do years. It was on Nickelodeon from 1991 to 1994. It was on ABC Disney from 1996 to 1999. So about the same amount of time.
Yeah. To be clear, old Doug is better, but I think more people like
there are more episodes
Doug.
Per season in the Disney ones, but there's
at least when I was a kid, because it was already Disney at that point. I didn't even get to see the Nickelodeon stuff, and anyone after that obviously would only know it as Disney.
I feel like there were a lot more people watching that cared about Nickelodeon when Doug was at site than cared about ABC one Saturday morning when Doug
that's
was
important
there.
Too, though. Not everyone had Nickelodeon. I didn't have Nickelodeon, so that's why I wouldn't have ever seen the old Doug.
We can run a poll, I guess.
Anyways, thanks for listening to the Doug podcast, y'all.
Yeah, right.
Doug podcast, yeah.
God, I really want to watch some Doug now. What the hell? All right,
man.
Mike, you host this show, so you gotta get us out of this, man. This is all on you now.
Yeah,
Wait, talk about it. We're not even on or is the show happening? I thought we were on a break.
We are, yeah. I'm waiting for you to end the break.
But we need to finish.
Okay, I didn't know you're ready.
Sorry,
You're
yes, I said I was set up, but we were we were too deep in the Doug.
Yeah. All right, we'll get back to it.
We were too deep in the Doug. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mike O'Leary says, I dig Doug, a Doug podcast.
Incredible. But I don't dig Doug. Incredible. I said the name of a video game. All right. And we're back. Jeff, so, we're about to ask our community, what do you most want in the Switch 2 reveal? I kind of talked earlier that I just want to see that new Mario game, and I want it to be a launch game. But, it doesn't have to be a game. What do you most want to see in that initial Switch 2 reveal?
I'm going to stay in my safe zone, my wheelhouse for this kind of thing. But it is truly what I want. I want them to make some overtures to their past of working in different kind of genres. And it doesn't have to be Wave Race or 1080. I would prefer those two, but it could be Excitebike, could be Excitebots, even something along those lines, like a new Excite game. I want something like that, something smaller that would be a really good launch game. I would even settle for like a Pilot Wings. But these are the things I want. The games that they, while they've been doing new WarioWares and Rhythm Heavens and things like that, and then they have these weird games like Labo, I kind of want okay, we have a handful of franchises that we haven't done much with since at least the Wii, if not before that, and I would like to see them get one of those ready for launch. Like I would, I want to see a Punch-Out, but I don't need that at launch. I think a Wave Race at launch would hit really, really nice.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about what Nintendo franchises did miss the Switch. It's interesting for a lot of reasons because it was a very long generation. It was a very fruitful generation. So there's something very interesting about those handful of franchises that did not show up.
I think they would just look really cool in a launch trailer as well. Like 10 seconds of a guy playing Wave Race at the beach or something like that. That hits really hard for me. So that's what I'm feeling. The features, all that other stuff, not what I'm interested in. I'm sure they'll have something that'll be exciting or at least worthy of talking about on the show. But I just want to see some games like that.
Why don't we see what the community thinks then?
Yeah, sounds good. Right. Let's see here. I'm fading over there.
Fade.
All right. From Dan Fiasco. You read these, right? And I just show them on the screen?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, my bad. Dan Fiasco says OLED model at launch. Yeah, not probably happening. But
I would love that, though. And
nice?
I'd be ready to spend even more money if they were to do it. So...
No, it's good. I am curious how it's going to feel like having to go back from using my OLED screen. If it's going to really bother me or something I get over pretty quick.
I mean, I'm sure once I start playing it, I'll get over it pretty quick. And then once I have an OLED, I'm like, God, how did I ever live like this? But yeah, at least they'll probably have a pretty decent LCD screen on this thing.
Kanitsu Boppy says, show me Pokemon Legend ZA running at a stable 60 FPS with denser environments. Look, and this is coming from me. I'd take a stable 30 FPS for Pokemon at this point. That would be a luxury. So, we'll see what we get there. I do wonder when we see Legend ZA again.
Yeah, and it's like that is announced for Switch, right? They said like that's coming to Switch 1, or did they not even say a platform?
I don't know if they specified, to be honest. I'm not sure if they specified.
Okay.
One of the things where they say it's coming to Switch. Well, what does that mean? Because the Switch 2 is a Switch, so I don't know.
At the very least, I think they probably will have some Pokemon thing in the reveal trailer.
Chaos Buckaroo says a new single player IP. Okay, so that's interesting. What is Nintendo's last new single player IP? I guess Wii Fit Adventures, technically.
Yeah.
But let's say they mean something a bit more core.
Jump rope challenge. That was single player.
Because the last couple new IPs have been more multiplayer focused, like ARMS, like Splatoon.
Yep. ARMS, Splatoon. Those are the most recent ones, right? The big ones.
So you think so? I think so.
I don't know. I mean, I think that there's a chance that we go through this next generation and get one new single player IP. Yeah, that seems possible. It's just they have so many things they could bring back and only so many teams that could be making these things at any one time. It's just so much easier for them to just pick something off the shelf and do that instead.
What reminded me of Snipper Clips. Oh, an Astral Chain, huh? I guess Astral Chain.
Snipper Clips actually Nintendo?
I'm not sure, but Astral Chain was published by Nintendo, made by Platinum, right? So that counts. There you go.
Sure.
Bench JC says, just repeat the Switch video, tease some Mario Kart and 3D Mario. I mean, I tell you what, that'll do it. That'll sell the Switch too.
Yes, it will. I mean, especially after so long after the last Mario Kart, I think it would have a big splash.
Dr. Lich says, a better online friend system and an achievement system. Inevitably, disappointment awaits. Do you think we get an achievement system now, or you think it's just at this point, if they would have done it, they would have done it?
Yeah, I think it's not impossible, but I mean, I don't think they're going to do it. They'll probably have some other thing that gestures towards this, some coin system that's not really achievements, but I don't know. I don't know how it would work, but an improved online system, or even God forbid, Discord on a Switch console, that'd be pretty cool. That'd be a nice thing to see.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? So, yeah, it will be curious to see how much they even talk about that stuff right away.
You probably get 3 seconds of a menu before, in this trailer, before we really see anything for real.
So Sean in chat says Cyberclips was an indie published by Nintendo, and fun fact, that indie studio made Crow Country, one of the better indie games this year.
Oh, wow. Okay, very cool. I had no idea that was the same studio. Very cool.
Symbiosis says, I don't know whether I'm asking for a new Star Fox or Nintendo exec Muppets. Boy, those Muppets were great, weren't they?
Yep, they're fantastic. I wonder if those are going to be at the Nintendo Museum. I feel like I've seen those, at least one of those puppets. Maybe it was at the Nintendo store. Yep, no problem. I feel like I've seen those in person, though, so they probably have.
I have no idea what was wrong with Penny. I assume that she got her nail stuck somewhere. She's fine, everybody.
She's okay? She's backing at it? Okay. All right,
yeah, she's fine. So Star Fox clearly got benched during the Switch generation there after Zero was a bit of a disappointment. Granted, it's not like it would have mattered that much if Star Fox Zero was a hit on the dying Wii U. So I do wonder if we see another attempt at a new Star Fox now.
Yeah, I think I would pop off if I saw Star Fox in this trailer pretty hard. So that'd be cool. Maybe I think I'd prefer F-Zero still at this point, but yeah, whatever.
Eden just has a picture of Girahim from Skyward Sword.
Yeah.
I still resent this guy because when we first saw him in the trailer, I thought it was going to be Vati from the Minish Cap, who has appeared in other Zelda games. I was like, hell yeah, Vati's back. And he was scored thing, oh no, he's hot. But I don't think we're ever seeing Girahim in a new Zelda game.
What's the Gaston coded character from this game?
Oh, Groose. The Groose is on the loose.
Yeah, give me Groose instead, personally.
There you go. Evo Janice says Switch showed Skyrim, so Switch 2 showing Elden Ring seems fitting. It's hard to imagine a third-party game that would be more exciting to see come to the Switch 2, right?
Yes, I think that, and that's like an audience that, while many of them I'm sure did play Elden Ring in other places, a lot of them will be like, oh, okay, now it's time to play Elden Ring. And so I think both sides would want to make that happen.
Bailey Moon says, the thing I want most, bar new games, are heaps and heaps of older titles getting new gen updates, HDR, 60 FPS, higher resolutions. It was the best part of the PlayStation 5 and series consoles. I hope Nintendo does it as well. Where are your expectations for kind of backwards compatibility performance boosts?
I think backwards compatibility, definitely. Performance boosts will be case by case basis. If like a game has an unlocked frame rate, maybe. I'm just not counting on it for a lot of games. I think the fact that they showed off reportedly Breath of the Wild running better says to me that they will probably have some upgraded version of Breath of the Wild for this system, and that's where you'll see that kind of stuff mostly.
Johnny Boy says, bring back the pack-in game. It seems like we're really far removed from that era, huh?
Yeah, but man, maybe like an Astro's Playroom kind of style thing, a pack-in demonstration game. I don't know. You're probably right, though.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that easily with Kirby.
In.
The last pack-in game might be Wii. Did Wii U come with Nintendo Land? I think Wii U came with Nintendo Land, right?
Not mine, because I got the cheap one, because I was just went on launch day and got a bad Wii U. But yeah, yes, the black Wii U came with Nintendo Land. And the 3DS came with those AR cards. Like, that's what I think. Right. Something like that could happen.
Maybe. Darachi says, rooftop party. Yeah, it'd be incredible seeing another rooftop party in the trailer. Come on.
Yep. I will be interested to see how they like make the pitch for this thing, if it is mostly still just a Switch. But I think they run back that same trailer once again. It's still going to be very convincing for a lot of people.
Jamie H1224 says an Iwata tribute of some kind would also be neat in a Switch successor, whether it be a physical thank you / mantra etched into the PCP or a software thing like the golf game.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't mind it if his initials were etched inside the casing somewhere. It's probably past that point now. I feel like they probably have honored him in a lot of ways, but I would love that. I love that guy.
Phil and Max says, Mark Cerny calmly explaining the technical differences of the Switch 1 and Switch 2 and justifying another The Last of Us. Really?
It seems unavoidable at this point. This is inevitable.
Germ says, Sizzle Reel teasing games in production with their IPs. Zelda, new Luigi game, Pokemon, Pikmin, Splatoon, Xenoblade, etc. Yeah, it will be interesting. And, like with Zelda especially, they announce like the next big Zelda game very early every time. You always hear about that game years before it actually comes out. So they could tease one pretty soon, actually.
Yeah. I think they probably are going to talk about like how they're bringing back some other Zelda games and improving Breath of the Wild first, so they don't have to do that. But not long after that, we probably do hear about a new Zelda.
Zipsis says Hollow Knight remastered with no mention of Silksong whatsoever. That'd be funny because I don't even know what you would remaster in Hollow Knight, but it would be hilarious if they did that.
Yep.
Adam JC says new Wave Race, so they agree with you. Yeah, new Wave Race. I mean, I think that is the one I would pop off for the most, even more so than 1080.
Oh yeah.
Wave Race is super
Wave Race
fun.
Is just a good kind of launch game.
It's always been a pretty game, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it's known for on the Nintendo 64.
And it's got good energy, right? Good music, just beachy feel, and yeah. I don't know.
Great vibes.
Yes.
Tommy Petzel says Leisure Suit Larry, Wet Dreams, a dry twice. God, just a disgusting name for this video game, huh?
Top like Mount Rushmore disgusting game names.
Just disgusting names. They may as well just named it Cum Stain.
That is the name. That is literally what the name is.
Incredible. You can play it on your Nintendo Switch. It has a physical copy. Cleek says please just let things run well. Parentheses 60 FPS. As long as things are stable. Again, I know I'm a FPS freak. I'm generally a bit more lenient with that on portables, but I do want stability. I don't want things floating all over the place and dipping into the tens like we got with Scarlet and Violet.
I think what I want is Nintendo have rules that like you should use DLSS to get higher frame rates, but that does not mean you're going to go from 15 to 30 frames per second, because DLS is not really meant for that. Well, it should be like go from 30 to 60. Like, yes, you can, and that means running games at a slightly lower resolution, having the image reconstruction. I want them to like set ground rules where like the game internally should be rendering at a certain quality level, and then you're trying to get like up to 60 from there. But we'll see. It's probably not going to work out that way.
Slane says a second screen that you can slide like a Joy-Con on top of the main screen for all the upcoming 3DS and DS ports.
And like just like
second Scream Dream.
Right, just like one of those PS1s where it flips up and stuff like that. Yeah, okay. That'd be cool. They could do more of like this magnet thing. They could attach more stuff to Switches instead of just Joy-Cons. So, I don't know.
Dr. Ryan says Eternal Darkness 2. You think there's ever a chance that franchise comes back in some way?
There's a chance, but a very, very tiny one.
Who owns Eternal Darkness now?
I think Nintendo does.
Nintendo just owns Eternal Darkness outright, I think.
Right, so they could. I think for a while, like, Dennis Dyack seemed so toxic they didn't even just want to touch his stuff. And maybe we're beyond that aspect of it, at least, right? Like, Dennis Dyack can't hurt you anymore. But still, it seems like too much time has maybe passed on that one.
From chat, Tamor H says, I would like the Switch 2 to finally show Mike that he needs to grow up.
Wow. Tim's been coming for me hard today. Now, I know it's only because we're so close and so comfortable.
And also, it's very, very funny. So that's good too.
I love when on the Bobcast when I was just saying what he tweeted and saying that I liked his opinion more than you, and then he told me to go fuck myself.
And he came out of nowhere to say that. That was very good.
Freedom McLiberty Ball says Zelda blowout. Maybe I'll distill it a little bit more than that. You think is any chance that Wind Waker is shown in the reveal?
Yeah,
that's just a way to get folks excited.
No, not in the reveal, because if there's, I know people will be able to look at it and be like, oh, that's just Wind Waker again. But any sort of thing where it could be, because like Breath of the Wild, they'll just say Breath of the Wild. If they just show like a clip of Wind Waker, something about that feels like, oh, okay, that's interesting, but it doesn't feel like that game already looked great as an HD game. Is this Wind Waker 2 and things like that? Now, I think they probably don't show that here, but I think that game's going to happen eventually, whether it's on the Switch or Switch 2.
Natasha Bradingfield says, I'm a simple man with simple tastes, and I mostly ask for two things. Bring back fun colors to the system itself, all of the Game Boy Color launch. For the love of Koji Kondo, bring back shopping music. I will say, Jeff, the reports that the Joy-Cons are just going to be black and white, kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I agree. They probably will want people to start over with collecting all your Joy-Cons again, because if it is a whole new rail system, a whole new magnet system, I know people that own a lot of Joy-Cons, and I wonder if they're going to have the appetite to buy all those all over again.
I sure do hope that they rizz up the UI in general a bit more this time.
Music in the shopping in the East shop would be very welcome for me. I miss that a lot.
Sewing Shade says, redesigned Joy-Cons. I find the current Joy-Cons to be severely uncomfortable to use for any meaningful amount of time, which keeps me from fully enjoying the Switch as a hybrid console. I do have the Hori Split Pad Pro controllers, which do help quite a bit on that front. So, how different are you expecting the Joy-Cons to really be here aside from that magnet thing?
Not too different. I think they're going to be pretty similar
they still have to work they still have to work as separate individual controllers, don't they? So they're going to separate the D-pad into buttons as well. So
I wonder if they just magnetize together without having to have a thing in the middle.
The middle thing. The middle thing was kind of important though to kind of make it wider.
Make it wider, yeah. So I guess I don't know.
I bet there's still going to be a middle thing.
Probably will still be a middle thing. I guess there could
be the Switch torso. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joy Z says the Family Computer 8 with 6 face buttons.
Hey, if they had 6 face buttons, I would love that. That would rule. Bring back the C buttons just for that. I want 6 face buttons again.
Genesis 6-button controller was goated for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, amazing for fighting games. Always Be Clothing says game completion statuses so everyone can see that I beat it last night. Hey, Dan was like, "Why is Mike smiling?" You made a face too.
I know. Listen, and I got away with it and let you take all the heat, which is just my life now, and I love it.
I beat it.
I'm like, hey, this is fantastic. I can just sit here and be quiet. And I got to laugh at the joke and watch Mike get in trouble. This is wonderful.
I was like, I didn't say anything. That was me keeping it in.
I beat it last night.
I do hate the current way the Switch tells me my playtime for games. The worst thing is the way that it won't tell you until after a week 10 days.
10 days.
For a while, it's just started a day ago. Yeah, I know that.
Right.
Obviously.
How bad do you think my memory is? It's bad. It's not that bad.
What the hell's that? Haas says backwards compatibility, ideally with a booster performance. I am very curious how much that is something they're probably going to talk about immediately in the reveal, because they know it's going to be a big concern for people, is carrying over their Switch library.
Yeah, they will show a Switch game going into the device. They will probably show someone taking the Switch game out of a Switch and putting it into a Switch 2. Like, that's probably what that looks like.
Beefhammer says Chris Pratt hosting the presentation. I'll tell you what, it's not a 0% chance.
Yeah, he honestly, he could be stomping on Hoopas in one of these videos for sure.
Every time it makes me laugh.
It's very good.
Bend7 says Mario Kart 8 Double Deluxe. I mean, look, if you brought back the two characters on a kart thing, like, I'd be pretty happy. I thought that was fun.
Yeah, I like that gimmick. I just have a hard time going back to the way that game feels now after 8, because 8 feels so perfect, but I like the gimmick, so yeah, do it.
The Astro Wolf 5 says a new dock, one that has less of a cheap plastic look and feel, and more of a premium product. Also a new Punch-Out, please. Yeah, I think we could have a nicer looking dock for sure. But yeah, Punch-Out. Speaking of franchises that kind of took a break during the Switch generation, Punch-Out would be amazing.
Yeah, I get it. That can be an every other generation thing, but I hope it's an every other generation thing, please.
It'll be every other now. This last one was Wii, but yeah, for sure. Screamy Madden says Madden making his return to the Nintendo platform on Switch 2, as we'll see Patrick Mahomes pass balls at 60 FPS.
Sure.
Very on brand, Mr. Madden. And then Resident Evil Cyrosis says greatly improved battery life and Hall effect joysticks. Better battery life is apparently in the works, and I don't hate the battery life on my Switch already. It seems
Switch OLED's pretty good for modern handhelds. Everything since the DS and the PSP. It's been in that. It's on the higher range or higher side of that range. And then I think Hall effects are on the table. That is a possibility for people that don't know. There are mechanical joystick analog sticks, and there's Hall effect, which kind of uses a magnetic field, and those don't ever drift. They might have some other issues, but the main issues that plague most controllers, including everything beyond Nintendo, everyone has the same issue unless you use Hall effect. This would get rid of that, and that'd be pretty cool.
And then input name here, it says Yoshiaki Koizumi. So
yeah, Koizumi's probably going to be in the video. Yes.
B says Nintendo poking jabs at Sony for its $7 price tag, like Sony poking jabs at Sega back in the 90s. It'd be funny. I don't see it happening.
Yeah, I just don't think Nintendo wants to acknowledge that other people make video games.
Nobody has really brought up price here. Do you think they do announce the price in that first reveal?
No, not in the first reveal. I'm kind of surprised Sony did, but I guess that thing was coming out in November, so they kind of had to. No, I don't think they bring up price. I gotta say, ever since the $700, Mike, all I can think is Chad Warden wipes his ass with $700. That's just been playing in my head over and over again. I miss Chad Warden.
Dade Bowling says the Switch system UI is fine, but the lack of menu music makes everything feel bland. Bring it back and bring back Reggie. You think Reggie is that another thing I ever thought about? You think Reggie ever comes back to Nintendo?
Oh yeah, that's a possibility. He could come back to Nintendo. I don't think they're in a situation where it's like we got to get him back. But it could be the kind of thing that happens like 10, 15 years from now. Still,
I wonder if he regrets it, because he did leave kind of what was going to, in the middle of the high point, but a high point that maybe is going to last forever. Maybe could have wrote it out a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, he probably doesn't regret it because, I'm sure he has all those stock options and all that stuff is making him just as much money as ever. And he's on a lot of board of directors and things like that. And probably doesn't have to work as hard and still makes a lot of money. So, he was doing that job for about as long as most people do that kind of job in this industry. Andrew House, all these people that kind of Jack Tretton, they do it for 10 to 15 years and then they bounce.
No one says something showing it's backward compatible. Yep. LaRue says, as long as it's a hybrid console still, then I'm sold. Not going to have to worry about that.
Yeah, I think you're good on
Alex says Atomic Purple. Yeah, that goes back to kind of the fun colors again, right?
Yeah.
It was amazing, but that was the Nintendo color for a while. There was Atomic Purple.
Atomic Purple. I would very much like that.
Anderson64 says GameCube NSO. It doesn't seem like that's happening still to me, or ever. It just seems like that is a line that's not getting crossed anytime soon.
Yeah, they're going to resell those games.
Yeah, they're gonna remaster. Like they're gonna do what they did with Paper Mario: Thousand Year Door and Metroid Prime Remastered. Yeah, that is the path for those. It seems like.
Marina
and, the good news is they do very good jobs with those remasters.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for real. And they're worth the money, for sure. Marino says, what if Spice Orange is the only Switch 2 color? God, that would be utopia. That would be a perfect world.
Breadfish says a new 3D Mario. That is all. Again, if they show only one game, it's going to be the new 3D Mario.
Yep.
So, Stinky says game sent integration gets stinky.
I threw that thing in the trash.
I'm glad that you guys did heed my warning and did not send me the game sent.
Yes, it's in the trash.
Oh, really? You threw it away?
It's like ready to go out into like the actual trash, but it's with the it's among the trash.
Oh, hell yeah. Thank God. Icewind Dale Earnhardt says Arms 2 even more Arms. Do you think there's a chance Arms is coming back?
Yeah, there's a chance that Arms comes back. I don't know. I think that's a franchise they'll give one more crack to. And yes, I accidentally hit the bleep button. Everybody, sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Weisman said, please just make the dock do something. Anything. I think it's just going to basically be an HDMI connector again.
I think it's probably an HDMI connector again, but it's not outside the realm of possibility that I guess it hooks up to the ventilation, has a more powerful fan. Not that would really do that much, and enables them to increase the amount of watts that goes through the Switch system on a chip. But all that stuff is possible, but Nintendo just didn't do that ever for the Switch for a reason, I think.
JD Camp says adaptive style triggers for proper GameCube emulation. And that's another reason why GameCube NSL might be a little tricky.
Analog triggers is something I would very much want to see return.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of wild because like the Switch is the only one of the big three that doesn't have that. Yeah, that's actually a good point, and that is something that's important to me. I want analog triggers again. I hate those just button triggers; they feel terrible.
Yeah, yes, and there's games that's like, oh, I love Trials, but I'm not gonna play that on the fucking Switch where there's no analog triggers like a maniac.
Absolutely not. Jackie G says a new Mario Kart. There's a distinct possibility. Well, okay, interesting. Sean, you do not like analog triggers.
Name one genre outside of racing where they're useful.
Racing.
They feel good in shooters, don't they? They feel good in shooters because they feel like I like them in shooters. They feel like
people put trigger locks in so that way they don't
tryhards.
People who play the game.
Try hard.
Yes, and Mario Sunshine. There we go. I'm not saying that I need them because I think it's a great button, but there are games that use it, so the Switch should have them.
They are cool when implemented well, like in, say, Mario Sunshine, but overwhelmingly, I prefer the button triggers because games I play, such as fighting games and platformers, buttons are better.
It should have the built-in stopper thing. It should have that should be a standard feature in all these controllers. I think that's true.
That would be nice. Like that, they're always going to sell that in a Pro controller or whatever, but that would be nice to have the option.
But I do play a lot of racing and driving in Trials. I play a lot of Trials. Give me my goddamn.
Yeah, I like racing games.
Give me my analog triggers.
What's up next? Did I say Jackie G says a new Mario Kart? Yes. Ali Miracle says lickable carts or a new kickstand for Bacalar to shit on.
Do you know the lore behind that one?
Not really. No.
CNET did a story about it, and it wasn't Bacalar. Hey, this kickstand sucks. In the video, the kickstand does suck, right? Everyone knows the kickstand on the original Switch sucked. It was bad, but the video is very funny because he's like trying to set it up, and he's kind of purposely knocking it down, like it looks like. And it's not Bacalar, but it was CNET. So whenever Bacalar would be on the Beastcast, they'd be like, look at the kickstand. Oh, you're getting flashbacks, Bacalar. They just give him shit about it. It was very funny.
That's incredible.
And now it's just associated with Bacalar. He doesn't do anything about it anymore.
I have to say, it's kind of like of course the Beastcast and the Switch overlap, but to me, he's coming into Giant Bomb later. I'm like, the Beastcast was that old giant bomb thing. Yep. But again, as I was reminded on Twitter before, the Switch has been around a very long time.
Yes, yeah, and the Beastcast was their later podcast of the two. Yeah.
Right.
What flavor of a cartridge do you want the Switch to
Wild cherry Pepsi.
I was gonna say poison, but I think you probably think that is poison. So yeah.
No, wild cherry Pepsi's fine.
That's one of the better Pepsis for sure.
Matt in the rare Zenless zone says, "Bring back the Miiverse." I do wonder, it won't be the Miiverse, but I wonder if they bring back something like that, some kind of social platform. It was the Miiverse was so good and everyone liked it.
Why not? Fun. Yeah, I wish they would. I think that they just need to let these things not have to live on the console only, and like kind of make. I guess then it's a smartphone app, and that didn't go great for Nintendo. I get it. We can't have nice things, but man, I miss the Miiverse.
Plucky Riz Racer 30 FPS says Chris Pratt introducing the new 3D Mario game while showing off his Koopa stomping skills. What's a Koopa?
Yeah, I don't know about the Stupas.
In the Lupas.
In the Lupas.
In the Tupas. in the Fun Lupas. Team Money OG says the new 3D Mario. Octo says improved performance and back compat for games that could feasibly benefit from it. Link's Awakening with the unlocked FPS, for example. Point. More 60 FPS. All Zelda's. Wind Waker is still not playable at 60 FPS on any platform, including emulation. Man, maybe that's why. I doubt it, but it would be incredible. They've been holding off on Wind Waker. It's like, let's finally get this thing at 60 FPS.
That would be very cool. That'd be a good thing. I would love that.
Lenny Asher Dick Denver says Splatoon 4, which might be a possibility. Splatoon 3 is ending regular updates. So
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Splatoon is in this video and then comes out like within 12 months after the Switch. Well,
don't forget, Splatoon 2 was like very launch window game for, and it was an important game for the Switch. Did very well early on there.
Yeah, but if we're only 2 years out at this moment,
it seems a little soon.
Just a little, the first 12 months of the Switch 2, I think, is when it happens.
Yeah, seems a little soon. But he also says, but for real, more third-party stuff will be cool, and especially early on, we'll see that.
7 days in Falupa. Oh, thank you, Brian. Jesus. Jesus Christ.
I need that poster. Chris Pratt. Okay, moving on. Boy. Will Davis has a new Animal Crossing presented by Reggie. Yeah, he has to go now. I need to play Animal Crossing on my Nintendo Switch too. That'd be good. Epic Open World says Hades. I guess we'll go back to that for a moment. Now, it has been a while since Animal Crossing New Horizons by now, I guess. Like, the new Animal Crossing could be a much earlier thing for the Switch as opposed to a mid-gen release like it was last time.
Yeah, and they have not been doing new content for Animal Crossing, and that mobile game even is shutting down. So, yeah, to me, that lines up as saying Animal Crossing now in the, kind of only up there with Mario Kart, really. Not even 3D Mario or Zelda.
No.
Just with Mario Kart in terms of, that's something that you need early on to sell to that audience because they will show up for it. And I think they're right about that.
They did make the most sold video game in the middle of pandemic, and they should stop doing it. They were like,
they kept selling, though. It's now like selling, once again, faster than just about any other game that gets released. And it's year 5, so...
Epic Open World says Hades 2 trailer with a release date. It would be interesting if Nintendo is the one to talk about when the game actually comes out. And it could happen. Hades 1 did very well on the Switch.
Yes. Hades 2 1.0 as an early Switch 2 game. That sounds like something that everybody involved would want to make happen.
Matt Lawrence says Fire Emblem Genealogy Remake, the only thing more mythical than the Switch 2 itself. Do you think there's any chance that's presented as a Switch 2 joint, or is that still going to be a Switch 1 thing?
Yeah, it might be one of those, straddling the line ones where it is presented as a Switch game, and at that time it means Switch or Switch 2. Like, everything at a certain point is just going to be on both. Like, and maybe it'll be like how Marvel, the Capcom fighting game collection is a PS4 game, but everyone's just getting it for their PS5, something like that.
Bikes and Brew says, will the same Pro Controller work on both Switch and Switch 2 and backwards compat? So yeah, just some of these baseline questions that we
Pro
do
controllers,
have.
They should. God, why wouldn't they work? But I don't know.
Well, because of the new analog triggers, Jeff. So
good point.
Won't make sense. Big Tony, the Final Fantasy guy, says the name Super Nintendo Switch. I don't think happening. And also Metroid Prime 4. Duno Crossing also says Metroid Prime 4. I wonder if there is a bespoke Switch 2 version of Metroid Prime 4, and if it's something that they talk about kind of immediately.
Yeah, I think there still seems like a real strong possibility that that's what's going to happen.
Zayark says the return of Street Pass, which I wouldn't mind that. Street Pass was a lot of fun.
Yep.
Although I don't really take my Switch out is kind of the problem.
I mean, I have and I do, but not like not like I did with the DS and the 3DS. But something like that, a feature like that would be cool.
Shoji Koto has our young Link, Toon Link, excuse me, from Wind Waker. And then Turbo Sean says Star Fox.
All right. Hell yeah.
That's it.
I'm excited. I think that when we see this video, I'm sorry, Christian just added amiibo support. So there you go.
You think they're gonna have amiibos for this one?
I like amiibos, and it's actually a little weird to me how they kind of de-emphasized them and slowed that down. Like even when we saw Echoes of Wisdom, they had like a display of 2 old amiibos that they're reissuing, but not like a new Echoes of Wisdom amiibo. And I'm like, man, why not?
I mean,
I love those
NFC chips, whatever it is. Those things have got it. Like they use those in bamboo hotel cards now, and they throw those things away. Those things have got to cost like a fraction of a penny, it seems like. So I think it'll probably have NFC capabilities in there. All right, Mike, what are we doing now?
Well, we got a few more super chats we can talk about when we're playing. Why don't we do what we've been playing real quick? Because for me, it's simple. Just more Order of Ecclesia in the Castlevania Dominus collection. Been making good proggies on there. Having fun. Kind of at this one point now where I need to go back to levels to make sure I capture all the villagers so I can get the good ending and whatnot. Even though the game's not one big map and all these smaller levels, this is a good excuse to go back to old areas and explore more and feel overpowered finally. So been having fun with that. It's definitely a very good Castlevania game.
Yeah, I remember really liking it and liking all the changes that they made with that one. Absolutely. Let's see here. I played Plucky Squire, not on the Switch.
More like Sucky Squire, apparently. Wow.
That was a pretty good joke, Mike.
I thought so. That's why I repeated it here.
Yeah. It is. Yeah, it's not for me. Is what I'm thinking. Is what I'm discovering. I think. There's multiple reasons. The biggest reasons are I'm just not having fun when I'm playing the game. Like once you start with there, it's like what else matters. But the jump is floaty. It maybe feels better when you're in the 3D world than in the 2D world. But it just feels like, I don't know. I like a jump that feels like there's something behind it, like physics wise. And this is just like a character being picked up with a cursor and lifted up and set down. And it's a bad feel. It's adorable though. It's so cute. I think that the characters are kind of fun. The writing's kind of fun. It just is. It happens a lot. There are a lot of times when the story takes over to do their fun little bits, and it's maybe that's too much for me as well. Yeah, I don't know. I people keep saying it's a chore to play. I think that was like the Polygon review kind of said that as well, and then a bunch of people were repeating that to me when I was posting my thoughts on Twitter. And I think that's a pretty good way of putting it. It's kind of a chore to play, and that side of things just doesn't match the joy of the presentation at all, really, for me.
I'm curious to get my hands on it and see what I do.
It's on PS Plus, so people could just go try this if you have that. So
there you go.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to get in there, and you don't have to like take risk too much. And a lot of people do seem to like it. Tam loves it. So and I was like, okay, cool. I think this might be a thing where it might just be a taste thing, and it's going to hit people that have more patience than me. Clearly, I'm a very impatient person. People watch me play video games. Like there's probably people with more patience out there. Like actually, I'm lapping this up, and the presentation goes so far, and I don't care about floating jumps. Some people love that kind of stuff. So I think this is going to be for quite a few people. I bet here in the next couple of days, though, we'll see a lot more reactions that are in line with mine. I think it'll be kind of both sides of it. Like, I think Greg Miller gave it a 6.5, and there was.
What does he know, though?
Yeah, he does have bad taste. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see what you will think when you give it a shot.
We got a few more super chats sneaking in here. You want to hit those up before we go?
Those. Let's see here. We got the.
I think Zoomer is the last one.
Yeah, we did get Hey You Peekaboo. So yes, Zoomer. All I want from Switch 2, make XDS fake leak real. Do you know what
I'm not sure what that is.
Sounds like a cross DS instead of a 3DS. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what that means.
It's like when Street Fighter crossed Tekken.
Oh,
but they versus Capcom.
It's
versus Street Fighter
X-Men, whatever. It's a PlayStation cross button. Okay. Connell Wood says Silk Song at Switch 2 launch, right? Right.
You keep saying it's waiting for a bigger stage. That'd be a pretty big stage.
Yeah, and like, if the game did get rated in one of those places, right? And that
got rated at one point somehow.
Yeah, and it's maybe it was getting rated because the Switch 2 was going to come out this year. got delayed. It's probably not a good reason to delay your game, but maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. I mean, hey, look, it would do pretty well as a launch title, wouldn't it?
I'm just bummed that Chris Pratt didn't send any super chats, but I'll get this last one. It's Chris Pratt who says, no matter what, let's hope Nintendo does what they're doing best with the Switch 2. Remind us of the days we were just stomping Oopas in the arcades. Hell yeah, Chris Pratt.
Chris, did you hear the 7 days in Falupa idea? Or is it 6? 6 days in Falupa. How many days? It doesn't matter.
It's 7 days in Falupa.
It's 7.
That could be your next Amazon Prime movie, Chris Pratt.
Oh, yeah. People love that war shit.
Yeah.
And Falupas.
And the Falupas. And just all the very gentle handling that you'll do with that very sensitive subject of what happened to the Falupas, of course.
Of course. The poll is over, by the way. And the Switch 2 price that the people think is gonna be most people with 65% says 400, and the second place is 450 with 19%. The third place is 500 or more, and the last place is 350.
Yeah, and just like a point of comparison here, when I did the poll on Twitter for the PS5 or PS6 price. And it was like 600, 700, 800, 900. 900 was like by far the winner. And then all the other prices were tied. So it's like across the board, like people were on every single price point. So I think the idea that like so many people are like honed in on 400, there's probably a chance that Nintendo is aware of that. And they'll probably price it at 400. I at the very least, I bet they'll be able to price it at 400 and sell it cost, if not make a tiny profit. So we'll see.
I am a little surprised some people are getting. I understand. I think we're all so shocked by the $700 PlayStation 5 Pro. $900 for a PlayStation 6 seems wild, and it could happen, but that's definitely not what I'm expecting.
I expect $700, no disc drive, and they'll have some other things there to like get you up to around 800 when you're all in, just like with this thing. I think that's what I expect, but. It's very hard for me to imagine them going back down to 600, which some people are saying, and I guess maybe. Sure. Why would they do that?
I'm also expecting 700 now. Yeah. Like I don't expect it to get cheaper somehow, but maybe even 750, maybe in some way like 800, maybe, but 900. Jesus.
And if Nintendo comes out with a Switch 2 at 400, and Sean's saying like selling to families, like they'll just dominate that space. At 400 feels like a fucking steal these days. Yep. So. Yeah, that sounds about right to me. Anything else from you, Mike, that you've been playing?
No, I think that's actually it. I think we're good.
Busy with Star Wars Outlaws and a few other things. So yeah, not much else on the. I did play some Diddy's Conquest, but not much. So,
Oh yeah, I've been busy with Astro and freaking Dark Souls 2 streams, which we're playing the DLC of that now, and it is brutal in a lot of ways. But
why? People gave you the choice to skip it. You don't have to do that.
No one gave me that choice.
God didn't give me the choice. That's the only one that matters.
I'm a professional. I know what people want. I'm still having fun. I'm still playing a video game. It's fine. Yep. It's just difficult and frustrating sometimes. But that's what the Oreo Coke Zeros are for, to get you through those stuff.
A little dopamine, get you through. Yep.
That's right. All right, Jeff. We do have Bike Club tomorrow.
Yep. I should hit the button, right? Let's do that.
Sure. Bike Club tomorrow. More alone than Mitch. Yay.
Yay. Oh, I'm so excited.
I
think this game has been perfect for Bike Club. Because it is like each little segment has its own bullshit, and it takes you just the right amount of time to figure out that bullshit. And then we move on to a new thing that does that same exact loop all over again. It's awesome.
Lupas.
Lupas. Yes, the Lupas in this game are incredible. The Lupas and the Proggies.
Talk to his agent, by the way, about the 7 days in Falupa
of course he
idea.
Is. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're getting some traction going there. Thank you, Chris Pratt.
Maybe Columbus.
Maybe Columbus.
Yeah, maybe I will decide tomorrow about whether or not we can do it this week.
So I have to reschedule the Beyond Good and Evil discussion because I was sick last week. But yeah, that will happen soon also. So yeah, plenty of things happening in the game mess world. Fun stuff. Thank you, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
blast.
I beat it last night.
Oh, you beat it.
I beat it.
Yeah, I definitely beat it this time.
I'll beat it first.
Over $1.2 trillion